Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to today's deck profile. So I wanted to basically kind of talk about a deck that I played and built for this LCS that just happened, LCS number 11. This is a new format, and I really like this deck. I thought this was a really good call because it has a lot of really good engine cards that can just inherently break boards. And without VFD in the format, I think this is like one of the strongest decks leading to that. Um, so I'll explain my card choices. First, we have triple Alistair. Um, look, Alistair is very monkey flip for sure, but I think when you can actually do cool fusion plays instead of just going mecha by pass, I think Alistair can be very interesting. And then I played for my Shaddoll count. I played 8 Shaddoll monsters, two of every single, two of the good ones, and then one of all the other ones. Mainly for the fact that 8 gives you, I think, a 70% chance to open one doll. And if you open up a doll fusion Alistair, it's very, very strong end board, which is Winda Kaliga. Then for the Dogmatika monsters, I play one Ecclesia and one Fleur-de-Lis. I thought those two were really good. I decided to play Fleur-de-Lis, which hasn't seen play previously, because of its ability to help OTK your opponent, but also because of its ability to negate, and that effect to negate effects on the field is more relevant than ever. Not only that, I expected a lot of people resorting to Monkey and coming into the event. So I figured that Fleur-de-Lis would be amazing, just because it outs Dragoon. If you'll go normal Alistair, they'll negate. If you have Nadir Servant, Nadir Servant can then out the Dragoon because you can go summon Ecclesia, search Ecclesia, summon Ecclesia, summon, search Fleur-de-Lis. Fleur-de-Lis outs the Dragoon, attack into Dragoon, crash it, and then I essentially wanted Dragoon out, even though this variant has the best Dragoon out, which is also one of the reasons why I decided to play this version over the trap version, because it's better at handling Dragoon. Next, for the fusion spells, I played 1 L and 3 Shaddoll fusion, so I kind of swapped the ratios around, as you notice. Historically, I played 3 L and 1 doll fusion, but I think the new format calls for 3 doll fusion and 1 L, mainly for the fact that Shaddoll fusion with Meltdown is literally like, it breaks every board, unless your opponent has Ash, of course. But I thought that would be like absolutely like insane. The other thing is also that L Shaddoll fusion, because you only have 8 Shaddoll monsters, isn't as strong. But you search it to set up if you need it, so I think that's why 1 L is fine. But I think 3 Shaddoll fusion was amazing for me. I think going second, I felt very comfortable because I had Shaddoll fusion in my deck. 2 Invocation, mainly because if you open one, you want to be able to search the other one with Alistair, but also like Invocation isn't really a brick in your deck. And a really cool play that actually happened for me is that you can actually Shaddoll fusion send the Alistair, then activate Invocation. Even if you didn't draw Alistair, so you can banish it and then banish the Alistair to get a normal summon, which is a play that I've been doing. I think this deck has a lot of really cool technical play that has and its synergy is very shown clearly with Ariel being able to banish her own Alistair so that you can recycle it with Invocation if they land to you and all that good stuff too. So I really like how well the synergy flows between like Alistairs and Shaddoll monsters. And then I feel like played 5 field spells, 1 terraforming and the 4 field spells. 3 Meltdown, and then 1 Mystic Mine. I played Mystic Mine mainly because Ryan, convinced me last minute, but it's a decent card going second with it. And then going first, like, you can legit end on Mystic Mine Kaliga, and, like, they just have a really hard time outing that. And even if they, if they just straight up pass, you can always turn it off with your own Meltdown. So, like, it was, never really, too bad. But I wasn't sure what to play as my 40th card, so I decided to play Mystic Mine. Because Ryan, you convinced me last minute at 5 in the morning, which huge shouts to him for getting second place and basically going 11-1 out of the entire tournament, which is amazing feat. 3 Super Poly, I mean, not much to say. I think this card is insane. It just breaks any board, and your opponent can't respond to it in the mirror match. If you have Magical Meltdown on the field and you Super Poly your opponent's Shaddoll monsters, they actually can't trigger their Shaddoll effects, which is why Super Poly is even more insane with Meltdown in the mirror match. And like I said, I made the call that I think a lot of people are going to be on Shaddoll, specifically the trap version, because it's getting a lot of popularity. I expected Dragons. I expected Bird Up. That's why you'll see Raging in my extra deck. I'll have to cut that out. Yep, so that's the reason why Super Poly was in my main deck. Then I have 3 Nadir Servant. There's not much to say. Nadir is insane. Nadir, but it just cracks like a lot of boards. It makes your end board like so strong. It's a free +2/+3. It's just like such a crazy card. I really like it. Every time I drew it, I knew that like I was probably gonna win. Um, then for the trap cards, I played 2 punishment. Mainly because punishment is searchable. I always side one out. But I main 2 because seeing it like isn't the worst because it's like technically engine. And you can just like set up rush to like and schism so that even though you can fusion on the following turn, you can do it again on your opponent's turn. And then I played 1 rush, 1 schism. I think that's pretty obvious. And I played 3 Ice Dragon Prison. I think this is the best card, the best trap card of the format. Like IDP is like just insane. It beats every deck, combo or control. Like against Elec, you banish their Lord even easier. You can in the mirror match, you can actually banish your own Link monsters with IDP. By summoning your opponent's monsters. So like for example, if you make Artemis and you pass, and you have like Mechaba or something, like what you can do is you can go like, activate IDP, summon back your opponent's monster, banish your Artemis, and then banish your opponent's spellcaster, right? So like you can actually dodge Shaddoll Fusion too with this. Like, and against every combo deck, IDP is just game. Like IDP Dragon Link, IDP, like just anything really. Like it outs the Wind Barrier statue too. Like effect, bring back Nerval, banish their Nerval, and then banish their barrier statue. Like it's just a very strong like trap card. Like honestly, one of the best cards in the new format, I believe. And then 3 Pot of Prosperity. I think this card was amazing for me. I love this card because the deck can be a little inconsistent sometimes, and this card basically says, let me grab Nadir, let me grab Super Pot, let me grab Shaddoll Fusion, Mystic Mine. Like, it grabs you whatever you need, and it just makes your deck so much more consistent. And I would always banish 3 with it. I never banished 6. But I treated it as a duality that lets me special summon, and for that reason alone, like this card was absolutely bonkers. I really like this card. There's a lot of power spells in your deck, and this card helps you see it. For the extra deck, I played 2 App Cologne, 2 Construct, 2 Window. I think that's like the best ratio for Shaddoll monsters. When you play Invoked Dolls, 2/2/2 is like fine. Never needed more or less of any of these. For the Invoked monsters, Fusion monsters, I played 1 Agoides, 1 Caliga, which was insane. I don't know how people don't play this card. Like, when I can, I rather end on Caliga than Mechaba Pass against combo decks. Like, if I have the option, I'm always ending on Caliga for sure. And then you have 2 Mechaba. I think that's just standard. And then 1 Intis and then 1 Raijin. Raijin was insane mainly for the fact that I wanted it in order to... If I had normal Alistair, I want to be able to activate Raijin against like the Bird Up deck and then make Raijin. And then I can attack into... I can basically attack into like the Simorgh Link because Alistair would add back to my hand. I also wanted to be able to super poly with my opponent's Simorgh Link 3 and then attack over the Barrier Statue, book a monster. And then Raijin also like really comes up too with like Wendy. Like Wendy, Alistair, sometimes you would make Raijin and then like under Meltdown you can like use Prey, like, you know, use on the resolution of the summon, you can use like Raijin effect to book monsters. You can book itself, you can book your Alistairs, you can book anything that for example, if your opponent tries to activate punishment, you can like you can chain Raijin to book it so that they can't actually target your monsters. Or like it won't resolve successfully because a punishment checks on resolution the attack, but if it's 5th place down, it won't know. Raijin also has synergy with Schism because if you book a monster summon off Schism, that monster when it's flipped back face up, it can actually attack directly, which is a really cool technical play that isn't as obvious. And speaking on like flipping monsters up and down, Resh Shaddoll actually has a lot of really good synergy too in the deck because Resh, for those of you who may not know, can flip face up or face down any monster, not just Shaddoll monsters. So this is really key because like you can actually book your own Alistairs or flip your own Alistairs. And you can also like in the mirror match like dodge Shaddoll Fusion. So that card is like really, really insane. I really liked it. And for the links we play, we only play 1 Gravity Controller for Shaddoll monsters. 1 Artemis and 1 Predaplant. Anaconda was literally one of the best links in my deck. I sent Shaddoll Fusion so many times, Super Poly so many times to like just literally like bait my opponent's negate, make Anaconda, activate Super Poly, and then I just turned the tides completely. I also resolved Shaddoll Fusions multiple times with Anaconda. For the reason that like if you activate Shaddoll Fusion, you're not under the restriction. Like you can actually resolve a second Shaddoll fusion under Anaconda, because Anaconda says you basically apply that card's effects. So even though you can only activate it once per turn, you can use its effect multiple times, even though you can only activate it once a turn, which is kind of weird, but that's how it works. It's the same reasoning why if you activate Anaconda's effect and you send Super Poly, you don't have to pitch a card for cost, because the cost is Anaconda's effect, and then Anaconda's effect on res actually applies the effect of the card you sent. And then for the side deck, I expected a lot of Dragon Link. So I was talking to Ryan about this and like some other people, and basically the logic is that like if you were to play any hand traps, you want to play the most impactful hand traps. That's why I didn't play Ash. That's why I didn't play Bell. I didn't play any low impact hand trap. I wanted to play the most high impact hand traps for the meta decks that I expected to see. So those were Nibiru, Lancia, and Gammas. Those are the ones that I believe were the most high impact hand traps against the metagame right now. Right, like in the mirror match, Gamma the Alistair, Lancia the Invoked Dogmatika version, Nibiru the Dragon Link deck. Like there's so many good hand traps, like high impact hand traps, and these are what I think it is. And then for back removal, I only cited 5 back removal because, you know, you want to open just 1, and 5 is like the optimal number. So I played 3 Cosmic Cyclone, 1 Feather Duster, and then 1 Lightning Storm. I liked all of it. I liked Cosmic a lot. And the thing is, my opponent would see that I'm playing like Shaddoll monsters with my Invoked card. So like they never really side Lancia. So like Cosmic isn't like the worst idea. But if they do side Lancia, like they just went -1. And then Cosmic, and like the thing is, Cosmic seems like really bad because if your deck loses to Lancia, why would you side Cosmic? Well, the logic for playing Cosmic is that like against Elic, right? If you're playing against the Elic deck, Elic hand trapping you is like really bad. Like Elic deck would most likely not side Lancia against this deck because they would go -1. And even like I said, if I do have Cosmic against the Elic deck, I would never use it. I would actually wait to use Invocation first, and if that gets Lancia, then I just hold the Cosmic, set it, and then use it on the opponent's turn, right? So it's like you got to be smart with it. If you know that you're losing to Lancia, and so you have to, and you draw the Cosmic Cyclone going second, especially if your opponent might have Lancia in for you, you just have to be very much more optimal. So that's pretty much it. In terms of like the deck, I really liked it. Overall, I went 4-1 day 1, and then day 2, I just lost 2 in a row, and I got kicked out. Completely my fault though. I woke up on time, and I just played the wrong opponent in round 6, and I got a game loss. And then round 7, I played a Mech Knight Pier deck that I just didn't expect, and I didn't have like a lot of good cards for that match, and so I just pretty much lost. So that's completely on me. If I just didn't get that game loss from playing the wrong opponent, then it just would have definitely been a different outcome. But I think overall, I like the deck a lot. We saw the conversion rate of Invoked Shaddolls or Invoked Dogmatika decks, right? Like a lot of them went to like top 16. 6 out of top 16 were filled with Invoked Dogmatika Shaddolls versions. And I think the main reason is that, like, you know, Wind is very strong in an undefined format. And if people are thinking Dragon Link is one of like the best decks, like, you know, Shaddolls has like such a good grind game against trap decks. It has like really good synergy against like a lot of like the mid-range decks, and then it can like just destroy like what do you call it, like the combo deck. So yeah, I think overall I like this deck, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know your comments in the comment section below, your thoughts on this, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, guys. I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.